favourite track. You know, it's a great track. It's a mile and two around, and big galloping track there with nice fences. And I've had a lot of luck around here. Rode 5-timers around here, and you know, it's your local. It's close to your heart. You know, it's a real family affair with us down here, because Dad owns the land. He shares the land with Finton Cod there. He owns a bit of it as well, and my brother William, he'd be big hand in has a big hand in setting up the track and all with the rest of the committee. Like my sister Zoe, she works on the declarations, and you know, it's a real family affair. My mum also, she's worked here for years. I think she's actually retired this year, but you know, it's a big family day out for us, and you know, it's a nice day out, and when we have a winner or horses run well down here, it's extra special. Remember, there used to be a great Banks horse, Beggar's Lane, and he used to win the Banks race every year down here, and you know, little things like that. It was great. Sir John Berry was very big when I was younger, and he was kind of the person I would have looked up to as such. And then my brother William got into it, and he started race riding, and I followed him a good bit. He rode a good bit for Padge Berry, and I used to go down with him down to Blackstone and school down there, and you know, it all started there, kind of getting into horses and into the race and into the point. When I was younger, I was fortunate enough to start off in the Kilkenny Pony Club. There was a lot of families back then that we all local families, and there was a great crew of us. We had a great time, and we did everything from pony camp to show jumping to eventing, all those things, and I really enjoyed the grounding that I got in the pony club. It was brilliant, you know, and it's kind of stood to me, I suppose, doing all those things across country, the show jump and the dressage. I think it had to have helped develop something along the line, you know. So I'm very fortunate that my mum and dad brought me to all these things, you know. And that Point of Pints are like, sure, they're a family day out, really. They're you know, it's an amateur-based sport. Everything here today, people are doing it voluntary, like from the lads driving tractors to the stewards to the people doing declarations, starters, everything. Like everything is voluntary for the hunt, and they're trying to make money for the hunt so that they can keep going. And I think that's very important, that the hunts are supported, and you know, like that they're not left with nothing either. You know, they need to be supported. It's getting harder with everything that's going on every day with other sports and all that. So we have to protect our own. And as you can see here today, like in Lingstown, it was great. There was kids around, families were down. It was a lovely day for it, and you know, it's been a real family day out. And as well as that, like, people can get down, they can get close to the boxes down there, see horses being tacked up. You know, like it's a real day out to see the grassroots of the sport, and you know, so it should be well supported to keep the hunts going. And as well as that, like, you could come down here today and you could see a future Gold Cup winner, like, you know, or a future champion jockey, or you know, you just don't know. So Point of Pinting is it needs to be supported. Yeah, I have a lovely book of rides today. I'm riding a Scorpion horse, 4-year-old for William in the first. He's been working quite well, and we're very hopeful that he'll run very, very well. I'd be very disappointed if he's not in the first three. You know, he makes a nice shape, and yeah, I'd be very disappointed if he's not in the first three. I got a phone call from a friend of mine, Jeff Murphy, and he was working in Willie Mullins's, and kind of said, yeah, sure, listen, I'll go up and give it a try and see how it goes. And I lasted there 5 years, but it was brilliant. Like, the education that you got, you were riding good horses every day with good riders, Ruby, James Nash, David Casey, Sam Curling. They were just great lads, and I suppose an early memory of Willie's would have been, you know, one Sunday morning Florida Pearl was going to be running the John Durkin in Punchestown, and I don't know, he was light on staff, I'd say, on the Sunday morning, but he got me to school, Florida Pearl, over I think 6 fences that morning, and you know, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face for about 3 weeks after that. I think I was in Willie's about a year, and Mags Mullins I was kind of riding out for Mags Mullins in the mornings before I went to Willie's, and a great Lord America horse called Eyes, and we went to Bramblestown in Gorn, and he won the 5-year-old maiden there, and it was a great day. It was my first winner. I can kind of remember every part of it. I think he won by about 25 lengths, so it wasn't a hard ride or anything, but it was just great to get the first winner on the board, you know. First winner on the track. It was a horse of Willie's called Kalulta Thunder. He was a goodish horse after. He came back point to point, and actually, and he turned out to be a good open horse in that. So he won. I think we won a bumper. We won a bumper in Leopardstown at the Christmas festival, and beat Davy Russell and Philip Fenton in a 3-way finish. I think I won by maybe a length and a half or something like that. But it was a great thrill to get your first winner in a big festival, and you know, a big Christmas meeting, and to beat Philip and Davy was, you know, something special. And I can remember Charlie Swan after I was getting changed, and he asked who won the bumper, and I poked my head around the corner and I said I did, and he congratulated me and said, you know, well done, you were very good on him, and you know, so it was great. It was a great day. I think I had maybe turning professional in my head for about 10 seconds maybe. I was working in Willie's at the time, and I was starting to ride a few winners, and maybe getting a little bit ahead of myself, I'd say. But I remember walking down from the gallops one day with Willie, and we were chatting away, and I said, geez, Willie, maybe I'd like to turn professional maybe, or what do you think? And he didn't. I'd say about 5 seconds later he said no. He said, just stay what you're doing. I never thought about it after that, and thankfully I didn't, to be honest, because being an amateur has been very good to me, so I can't complain. Maybe 2003, 4, 5, and after that then, when I was gone out with Willie's, I suppose I had 19 winners there one year, and then I got up to a higher number, and like, you know, I think I got up to 50 something then, maybe 2006 or 7, and you know, it really started to kick off, and I enjoyed it. But it probably wasn't as same thing when I left Willie's, no set plan, just enjoying riding, and you know, whatever winners I got, I was delighted to get them. It probably wasn't till maybe myself and Derek rode 100 winners apiece back in, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, that I got my head down a little bit more, and you know, and kind of thought that maybe I could have a pop at Derek, and you know, kind of get that title, you know, and it probably took 3 or 4 years for me to actually realise that, you know, and I took 5 years to do it now, and I nearly killed myself doing it. But I ride a nice Shantou mare of Donegal Doyle's in the mares. She's a bit of experience. I rode her first time out last year in Ballindennis, and she was third behind Damien Murphy's good King's Theatre filly that was placed in the listed bumper in Cheltenham the other day. So I'd be very disappointed if she didn't win, to be honest. She had a couple of runs in between, and she'd be unlucky. She unseated at the last in Castletown, and she slipped up on a bend in Lochamoore. I wasn't riding her any of those 2 days, so 2 years ago, like, same as any year, you start off, I set my stall, and I wanted to beat him, you know, and that was it. And I started off really, really well. Derek missed a couple of weeks with he injured his foot, and I kind of got a good break from the time he was out until he came back. I think I had ended up being 19 winners in front of him, you know, so I had got a good lead on him. And to be honest, like, only for that, I wouldn't have lasted home, you know. He got within a winner of me, and then thankfully I was able to last home. But that was a hard year. Like, it was ding dong away there, and I say after Christmas when he was back and he was flown away there, it was hard going now. You know, there was entries every Tuesday. It was just time consuming. Everything revolved around the point-to-point championship, and it was great. It was great to be a part of it, and people got really into it. You know, papers, the media, everything. It was fantastic. But there was times during it where I just said, "Geez, give me a break," you know, to get a chance just to gather your thoughts and you know, get a breather as such. But there was definitely a time after Christmas when Derek was riding a lot of winners, and I was still riding winners, but I just wasn't riding as many as he was. And he got, I think there was a weekend then in May, and Ballindennis, and I think he got level or one behind, and I actually rode a couple of winners that day, and I took a bit of heart from that, to be honest, that he didn't, you know, he got close and he didn't get by me, and thankfully I had enough to last me home, to be honest. I'd say if he had come by me, I would have probably ended up in Australia or something like that. we get on very well. There's times during the year where we probably get on better than other times during the year, but on the whole we get on well. He's a great man. I have a lot of respect for Derek. I think he's a serious rider. He's the best rider I'll ever see as an amateur. I think he's just fantastic. We're just different personalities as such. I'd say I'm a bit more fiery. I probably wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit too much at times, and maybe I'm not as diplomatic as what I should be. But Derek is very cool. He's calm. He's very controlled, and he's a brilliant rider. And you know, to be honest, it's great that I'm riding in an era against him. Obviously, if he wasn't there, I'd be champion jockey every year, and it would be fantastic. But that's not the way it is, and I suppose having Derek there, I think, has definitely made me be a little bit better. I don't know whether other lads will say that, but I definitely think it's helped me to be better. It's pushed myself to try and ride more winners, to improve all the time, and I think maybe that's where myself and Derek complement. And I think he'll probably say the same, that maybe I've driven him on a little bit as well, and maybe he'll say I've driven him a bit too much at times, but I have a lot of respect for Derek, and he's a great fella, in fairness to him. You know, like, there was great rivalries back, like with Enda Bulger, John Thomas and Davy Russell, Enda Bulger, Paddy Graff and John Berry, Tony Martin, like all those great point-to-point riders. Like, we're in a different era, and people will say that we're very good, but I don't know. Like, I'd say if we were riding back then, maybe they put us in our place fairly quick, like, you know. So I'm just privileged to be riding in this time against a great rider in Derek, and I think it's definitely helped my career as well. You know? I ride a 5-year-old for Dennis Hogan today. He's a Fruits of Love horse. He's had 2 runs. He fell the first day in Lochray, and then he was 4th. Corky Carroll rode him in Dromahane. He was 4th in a 5-year-old maiden down there. So he has a bit of experience, and listen, I think Colin Bowe's horse will be very hard to beat. He's a Flemingsford horse that has been second twice, so he'll be hard to beat, but I'd be disappointed if I'm not knocking on the door. Normal week is basically Monday to Friday. You're riding out every morning. I try and do something most mornings. Tuesday I could be anywhere really. Wednesday I'm in Gordon's. After, I could be back schooling on the Curragh. Thursday I'm in Dennis Murphy's, maybe doing a bit of schooling for a few local lads after. Back home maybe to Williams, and then Friday I'm down Williams on Friday morning, and maybe Monk's Grange or Tipperary on Friday afternoon, depending on where the galloping is. And then you're racing most Saturdays, and most Saturdays when there's racing up the north, and then every Sunday is you're somewhere, like, you know. So it's a busy week, but sure, it's part and parcel of it. You know, you have to be busy and make sure that you're riding plenty of horses and schooling them, and you know, it's a big business now. The 4-year-old and 5-year-old game, like, it's turned into a massive business. That people are spending a lot of money on stores at the sales, and you know, they're trying to win a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old maiden, and hopefully sell them on. So it's a huge business now, and you know, sure, there's a lot of pressure on us to deliver along with the trainers, you know. So you have to be on the ball. Like, even though the point-to-points are a big business, there's still a big fun element to it. Like down here in Lingstown we have the Banks race, and you know, it was won by Dennis Murphy today on the road to Croker with the road to Croker. So you know, it's that fun element of it as well that keeps point-to-point going, along with the business side of it, and long may it continue, you know. Our commander, he got held up a couple of years ago, and it's his second run back. He had a good run in Roscommon. He was second in a winners' race, and hopefully, if the bounce factor, hopefully he'll if he doesn't bounce, he should run very well. I suppose I've been very fortunate in a way all the way along my career. You know, like I've been riding for real good trainers, you know, some brilliant owners. Very fortunate, like as I said before, like I've had a great grounding in Willys, and I think that was the makings of me, you know. But like recently, like riding for home, Dennis Murphy, Gordon Elliott, Liam Kenny, I have a fantastic trainers to be riding for, and that makes my job a lot easier. I really fancy a horse in the last of Jim Draper's, San Pietra. He got a tipped away around in Doubt Hall, and we finished fourth. And I think he'll improve a lot from the run. And I'd be disappointed if he didn't put up a good show. But there's a lot of people there that have supported me, and sure I know myself that without those, I wouldn't be riding those winners, and you know. So I suppose when you're riding as well, like you need a lot of support, and I'm fortunate enough that all the way along I've had my family there, and you know they've been a huge help, and you know, and thankfully I've met a great girl as well in Robin, and so we got married, and you know, and I suppose without them I'd be, you know, it'd be a lot tougher. Like they're there on the good days and the bad days when you're pulling yourself up off the ground, and you know, when you're having your 5 winners, and it means a lot that they're there with you and supporting you and helping you, because they're not easy to live with, I'd say. As regards the future, don't really know. Like I'm doing a bit of work with Tattersalls Ireland now at the sales, and they've recently taken over the sales in Cheltenham for the selling point of pointers and farm horses and breezers and all that. So that's opened up a few more doors for me now. I don't know where it's going to lead. I hope it leads into something more, but no, there's plenty to look forward to. But as long as I'm enjoying my riding, and you know, the Tattersalls job can coincide with the riding, I'm gonna stay tipping away and keep these young lads honest for another while, I suppose.